begin with University President Dr. Gary Ransdell.
Well, thank you very much for being here. This is an important day for us. When I came to work Monday morning, it was about 3 degrees outside, and the day got colder as it went on. So we began to sort through what was unfolding around us, but as it's Friday afternoon, as the week draws to a close, let me tell you what a good week this has been. This has been an easy week. And I want to compliment Todd Stewart, our athletic director, for handling all the myriad of inquiries and activities and things that have swirled around his office this week. He's kept me informed, and that's been an easy job because I've complimented and nodded approval of every suggestion and every step of the way this week. And when I had the opportunity to spend a couple hours with Jeff this week, I was reinforced that we were indeed in a very fortunate position. This program is strong, this program is competitive, this program is operating in the right ways, and I cannot be more pleased and proud of our future for Hilltopper football. And that's what's made this an easy week. We've got a core of coaches that are sitting right back here on the fourth row that made this an easy decision. And with Jeff's leadership and the core of coaches that are making a commitment to this university going forward, we didn't have to consider this a week of change. This is a week of continuity. This is a week of confidence. And I'm very pleased that we were able to make, it wasn't even a decision. It was a very easy process to flow through and to work through. And I'm delighted as to where we are at this point in time, moving forward with our Hilltopper football program. And I know everyone in this room can be proud of what this program has become and what it is in the process of achieving next year and each year thereafter. So I think we're just getting started with Hilltopper football at a very high level. As we go into Conference USA, we intend to be a leader in Conference USA, not only in football, but across our athletic programs with academic performance and every other measure. But this is the one sport that is already in Conference USA. The Sun Belt banner has passed, and we are now in Conference USA. We're recruiting recruits that will play in Conference USA, and we look forward to going into Conference USA next year in championship form. And I'm delighted with the leadership that is now in place to make that possible. So I'm going to turn it over to Todd Stewart. Again, I want to thank our coaches, our coaching staff for what they have brought to this program and the commitment they are making to this program going forward. So Todd, over to you, please.
Thank you, Dr. Ransdell, and certainly it's terrific to sit here and look out and see so many people here. I certainly appreciate all of you being here, and it's really nice to see a lot of our players here. We're not in school right now. We don't start school for a couple more weeks, and so it's great to see you guys here. I know it won't be long before you'll be back at it, but certainly thanks for coming out today. As everyone knows, yesterday Bobby Petrino was named the head football coach at the University of Louisville. And I first of all want to thank Bobby for his tremendous dedication to our football program and the tireless work ethic that he exhibited from the very day he was hired. While only serving as our head football coach for 13 months, Coach Petrino and his staff elevated our program to its high-water mark since we made the decision to transition to the Football Bowl subdivision in 2007. Our 8 wins in 2013 were a program best during this time period and the most for WKU in any year since 2004, and our 4 wins over bowl-eligible teams last season were more than the previous 5 seasons combined. We were one of only 8 teams to rank in the nation's top 30 in both total offense and total defense, and we set an all-time program high for average attendance per game. Jeff Brohm deserves much credit for playing a leading role in this success. Under Jeff's direction as offensive coordinator last season, we broke 18 school records on offense, including posting 5,502 total yards, the most in our program's 95-year history. WKU is also the only team in the nation to have an individual break both the school's single-season passing and rushing yardage marks in the same season. Jeff's total body of work prior to coming to WKU is significant. He has previously held assistant head coach and offensive coordinator positions, and his 11-year FBS coaching career includes experience in the Big East and Big Ten conferences, in addition to a season at both Florida Atlantic and UAB, both of whom will be future Conference USA opponents for WKU. A common theme from each of these stops was consistent offensive success and excellent production from the quarterback position. Jeff also brings postseason experience, having coached in 6 bowl games and winning 4 of them, including a 2007 Orange Bowl victory while at Louisville. His playing career included 7 seasons in the National Football League and an appearance in Super Bowl 29 with the San Diego Chargers, along with 2 seasons in the Cleveland Indians organization. He wrapped up his 4-year collegiate career as one of the most prolific offensive players in Louisville's history and was twice voted the team's most valuable player. His extensive roots in the Commonwealth of Kentucky began with his youth, a period that culminated with him being named Kentucky's High School Player of the Decade for the 1980s. Quite simply, Jeff Brohm exhibits a multitude of successful and winning attributes. He has an excellent football pedigree, marked by success at each playing and coaching stop during his career, and he has a terrific football mind with vital leadership traits. I have no doubt he will be an outstanding head coach who will build on the momentum we currently have in our football program and take us to even greater heights. It is great to have Jeff's wife Jennifer, son Brady, and daughter Brooke with us today, along with his parents and other family members. And it is my great pleasure to formally introduce Western Kentucky University's new head football coach, Jeff Brohm.
Photograph of the front of the building switched out.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you very much. I'm used to standing up and talking, but it's definitely an honor to be here, to be the leader of this football program now, and I'm truly thankful for that opportunity. I also want to thank all the supporters for coming out today, all the fans, all of our players, all of our coaches and administration and their families, and it truly is an honor to be up here in front of you. The first and main person I want to thank, of course, is our president, Dr. Ransdell. I got a chance to spend some time with him the last few days, and I can tell you without question, he is the best president in the entire country, and we're very lucky to have him. I also want to thank our athletic director, Todd Stewart, not only for what he's done and achieved before we arrived here this past year, but for giving me the opportunity to lead this program and take them into the year 2014 and beyond. Thank you very much. You know, moving beyond that, there's obviously a lot of people to thank, a lot of former coaches and people that I've been involved with throughout my career. I'll try to go through those quickly, but even starting out in high school with Coach Dennis Lampley at Trinity was a great mentor and leader. He was able to teach people to play extremely hard, and they played hard for him on a daily basis, and he taught me the importance of quality, integrity, leadership skills that I will forever take into my career. Moving on to that, Coach Snellenberg at the University of Louisville was an outstanding football coach, an outstanding leader, and had the ability to mold programs and take them to levels they'd never been before. And without question, I learned a tremendous amount from him, and I'm very, very thankful for what he did for me. Going past that, I played for a lot of great coaches. Started off with a Super Bowl year in San Diego. Bobby Ross was our head coach. Went to San Francisco for 3 years. Had coaches like George Seifert, Steve Mariucci, Marty Morningweg, Pete Carroll, Jim Mora, Mark Tressman, all coaches that coached me at San Francisco. Went to Tampa Bay, had Tony Dungy, Mike Shula, great coaches there as well. Denver, Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak, and a few other stops at Cleveland, Washington, and Orlando as well, and learned a lot from all those great coaches, and took a little bit from each and every one of them, but I'm definitely thankful for the opportunity to play underneath those guys. And also the players that I played with, great players at every level, but especially when you get to the National Football League, to play under players like Steve Young, Jerry Rice, and learn how to go about your business and work and be a champion is something I'll be forever grateful for. Also, I want to thank Coach Petrino. He's a guy I've coached with for a long time. He's a proven winner, and we've coached a long time together, and I have a great deal of respect for him, and I appreciate everything he's done and his ability to motivate players to achieve their best and to be detail-oriented in everything you do, and he's somebody that I would definitely take a lot of components of his drive and his willingness to, go the extra mile and do whatever it takes to win. And I thank him a great deal as well. Without question, I want to thank my family, and they're here today. And my wife Jennifer for all her support she's given me and gives me the opportunity to come to work quite a bit and do something I love, a passion, which is football. I want to thank my son Brady. He's the biggest Western Kentucky fan there is. You can ask our staff; they'll tell you. And he was excited as it's ever been. And I kind of tell a little story about when I kind of told him what was going to happen when all this came about, and laid the options out for him, and he definitely was for Western. And when I told him a few other things that came with that package, he was running up and down, jumping up and down, and excited to be a part of it. Because he likes to be around the players, and it's a special time for him at his age to be around our guys and to feel a part of it. And he definitely bleeds red, and I'm thankful for him. My daughter Brooke is 3. I'm surprised she's still sitting down, but she's tremendous and has more energy, and I hope our team plays with that amount of energy. I want to thank my mother and father. They've definitely given me guidance. They've brought me up the right way. They've instilled the values that I believe in today that will carry me a long way and put me in an environment to succeed, and really was there with me along the path. When you get to a chance to play at a high level, you don't always win. There's times when you're low, and teams may not want you to play quarterback, and you've got to have people to rely on that support you, and they've definitely been there for me, and I want to thank them. My brother Brian is here as well, who has achieved a great deal as well, and I was able to get a chance to coach him and wouldn't trade that memory for a long time, and I wish him the best and thank him as well. My brother Greg and Kim are not here, but I want to thank them for all their support as well. Moving on a little bit, I truly am blessed to have this chance to lead this university. And it's something as a player, when you work hard and you finally get a chance to, achieve something and play at the highest level, it truly is a remarkable time, and I cherish those memories. And now to work hard and get a chance to coach at the highest level here at Western Kentucky University, it's truly something I'm proud of, and I will do my very best to put a great product on the field and give everything I got to make sure that happens. I'm excited about this day. It's another step forward. Yes, I'm a new head coach, and it's something that I'm eager and willing to hit the road, the ground running full speed, and I know our staff is as well, and we're looking forward to this challenge, and we'll give you everything we got on a daily basis. Also what makes us just as special as well is the opportunity to coach in my home state, the state of Kentucky. Without question, I take a lot of pride in that. I not only grew up in the state, but I played college football in the state, and have been able to coach in this state. And it's something that I believe there's a lot of talent in this state. It's a great place to live. This is a tremendous university. As you can see, the facilities are second to none, and they've done a great job of growing this program, and it's just a tremendous opportunity. Like I said, this is a growing, fledgling program, and it's ready to take on all challenges. We've got great facilities. We've got great people around this program, and to me, that's the difference. When you have great people to work with that are committed to winning and doing things and working hard to achieve greatness, it truly is remarkable, and the administration has been great, and there's a great foundation here, and I'm ready to build upon that. One of the most important things I believe in is that every player that comes to Western stays here, plays here, and wins here, and also with that, receives a degree and prepares himself for a rewarding future. And I think that's the difference in college than the professional level, is you've got a chance to be hands-on with kids that not only need your guidance on the football field, but in the classroom, in the community, how to go about their business, how to work hard. And as a former player, that was really the most intriguing thing to me that got me into coaching, was that I could relate to these guys. I'd been where they are now and have experienced the things they're experienced, the highs, the lows. And I think guys need someone who has been there and is willing to put your hand on your back and pat them on the back when they need it, and who's willing to push them when they need it as well. But you have to be able to do both, and I think that's an advantage that I have, and I definitely try to use that with all my players. I want a program here that's exciting for our fans, that's innovative, that we're creative, we're always cutting edge, we're always working hard to not only put a great product on the field, but to be ahead of the curve. And I think with this staff that we'll have, you will see that. Guys that are committed to winning, that put in the time, and that are willing to experiment and try things to improve the team and to be ahead of the curve, and that's something that's special to me, and I think that'll be a touch that I really work hard at doing. You know, every year we want to come out as well as a team, as a program, and win the Conference USA Championship, and that will be a goal of ours without question, and we will work hard to do that. We're excited to be in the conference. It's a challenge. It's a lot of new teams, but I think we're ready to take on that challenge, and our players are eager and ready to get to work, and it's going to be a lot of fun. As we progress, you know, this program, we want to make this program a national program on the national level and make it high profile. And you do that by playing exciting football, by being dominant on both sides of the ball and special teams, and showing excitement and enthusiasm for your work, and we're definitely going to do that. You know, the 4 big areas we concentrate on as coaches with these players is first is their academics. Without question, we want to make sure that they graduate and they have all the support they need, not only from the support staff, but from us as coaches to make sure they get to the degree and they stay on track and they do things right in the classroom. Spiritual growth is important to us as well. Social responsibility, okay, and obviously play on the field. To achieve these goals and get where we want to be, it's going to come through hard work on a daily basis. And I believe we all need to strive to be a champion both on and off the field. We need to pursue greatness through a commitment to excellence on a daily basis. In our football program, this means winning championships and treating people in a first-class manner. We must have a passion to be the best and a daily commitment to winning. Success happens when preparation meets opportunity. Yes, you are pretty, Brooke. Yes, you are. And I want to thank you again for this opportunity, and I can't wait to get started. I'm extremely excited and looking forward to leading your program. And before I end, I definitely want to make sure that I acknowledge someone that's in this room that's played a great role in our success this past year. He's done a tremendous job. He has coached at a high level at numerous different colleges for years, and is not only a great coach, but a great person and a great teacher, a great motivator, and cares about his players deeply. He's got a great wife in Julie and a great family, and we're lucky to have as our defensive coordinator, and I want to recognize him now, our defensive coordinator, linebacker coach, associate head coach, Nick Holt. Thank you very much.
All right, we will now take questions from the media. If you just raise your hand, make sure you get the wireless microphone from Adam. He'll bring it right over to you. Please state your name and affiliation for Coach or Dr. Ransdell and Todd.
Hi, Coach. Jeff Woods from WBKO. I would expect a lot of things would stay the same as far as things that Coach Petrino did. But what, if anything, do you plan to do differently?
Well, that's a good question. I think we definitely have a strong foundation and a systematic belief of what we believe in as a staff, as a football team, offensively, defensively, and special teams, and we will definitely keep that core. I think, as I mentioned earlier, and even Coach or Dr. Ransdell mentioned to me when we talked and questioned a lot of things about this, but we're going to try to stay cutting edge and ahead of the curve and be creative. And that's one thing as a coach I take pride in is studying not only ourselves but the best teams in the country, making sure we're not missing out on anything that other teams do, and making sure we give our players the best chance to succeed.
Lucas Allback, WKU Herald. How did your first year here kind of help you get with the program and help you just kind of hit the ground running?
Well, I tell you what, I love my first year here. It is a great place, great facilities. They've done a tremendous job, and I was excited to come here. And when I came here with Coach Petrino, you know, I wanted to get back and see up close and personal exactly how he ran the program, what things he did on a daily basis. And without question, I studied that and paid close attention to it as we were coaching our team and trying to win games. But, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to it and learned a great deal this past year.
Kevin Willis, WKU Public Radio. Coach, heading into the first year of Conference USA, how would you assess the quality of the football programs in that conference from top to bottom, and where does WKU fit in going into that first year?
Well, I think it's a quality conference, and we're excited to be in it. And I think it'll bring a lot of energy to our fans, to our team, to play new teams, to experiments going to different places. And I think we fit in just great. And our players excited to play in it. And I think we're going to go out and compete. And without question, our first year, our goal is to win the conference championship.
Eric Crawford, WDRB in Louisville. Jeff, how long have you been thinking in terms of college head coach and planning for this day? And I know you've got some head coaching experience, but how long, what a process has that been, and what's that planning and all that been like?
Well, that's a good question. You know, I grew up loving to play the game and to play sports, and that's something I did for a long time and tried to do it as long as I could. As long as the teams would keep me, I kept playing. And so I really enjoyed competing, regardless of what sport it was, and got into coaching. And without question, it was an adjustment as a player to learn the hours and how hard you had to work and the meticulous detail you had to have, and to realize that as a player yourself, you may have been a little more talented and it may become a little easier, but with other guys, you've got to teach them the small details and how to go about winning on a daily basis and getting better every day. So, you know, really, as I started to get into it, the more and more I was into it, the more and more I felt I wanted to do that. And without question, this past year, it was completely a preparation stage to try to get back and learn exactly how we did it before when we were together and how we were going to do it this program. And it's something I followed very closely.
Do you have any discussions with Bobby about following him to be his offensive coordinator at Louisville?
Well, that was always obviously in the discussion, and Coach knew what I wanted. There were some things that came up, some opportunities, you know, before this as well that I had a chance to do, and you know, we sat down and talked, and Coach knew that hey, you've got a great opportunity to be the head football coach here if you do things right, and we continue to work, and we've had that discussion before, and you know, he knew the best thing for me was to be a head football coach at Western Kentucky, and definitely the ability to coach at a team in my state that I truly love, that, as you can see, has made tremendous gains and strides, and I want to help take that program to even higher levels.
Is this a place you could see yourself being for a really long time, or results that dictate that in the future?
Well, obviously, that's always the goal. You know, you want to come in here and you want to win, and winning doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen, and I tell our guys all the time, you know, the difference in winning and losing is this much. So you've got to do the extra each and every day, but, you know, I want to come in here and win and teach our guys to win at everything they do. And I think if you teach them to win at everything they do, on the field, off the field, in the classroom, in the community, it carries over. And you get a sense of pride in knowing that you're not going to let your teammates down. You're going to find a way to get it done. And that's what really makes it special. So that's really my concern, is how can we teach these guys to become winners at everything they do.
Michael Grant, Courier Journal, Louisville. Jeff, when did you first kind of make the decision that you wanted to get into coaching? And also, well, just answer that first, I guess.
Well, you know, like I said, I was committed to playing when I was a player. I wanted to play. And, you know, as a quarterback at that level, you're going to get released from a few teams at times. So that definitely happened. But I was driven to try to make the next team, and I was fortunate enough to do that a few times. So I really enjoyed playing. I'm not going to lie. It was challenging, and it really drove me to work extremely hard. And you can ask my wife and family. I worked as hard as I could at it. And really not until I got done playing did I realize. And, you know, and I had some opportunities right coming out of the NFL where 3 teams, NFL teams, asked me to get on right then and coach. And I wasn't ready because I thought I could still play. So, you know, I didn't do it then. And then finally reality sets in. You know, we all think we're a little better than we probably are. But, uh-oh, she's ready to go. I told you my daughter was. I'm surprised it wasn't Brady, but Brooke's ready.
It's the first penalty of the Brohm era right there.
But I definitely, you know, just a little bit after playing, knew that it was something I wanted to do. And the more I got into it, the more I knew.
And also, how grateful do you feel for this opportunity, especially after the way things sort of fizzled out at the end previously at U of L?
Well, you know, I had a great 6 years at the University of Louisville, and I wouldn't trade him for anything. You know, as a player, we had a lot of fun, won a lot of games. As a coach, coached for different coaches, learned a lot of different things from them, and took a lot of different things from them. So, you know, I'm thankful for all my opportunities there, and I'm a Louisville fan. My son's a Louisville fan as well, and you know, that's where I went to school.
This question is for Todd. What ultimately made you want to, what made you know that Jeff was the right coach for this job?
Well, I had a terrific advantage, really, of almost looking at Jeff in terms of a 12-month interview. Certainly when we hired Coach Petrino, we knew there was a possibility that he might not be here that long. We all hoped he would be here more than 1 year, and I think if Charlie Strong doesn't take the Texas job, Coach Petrino is still here today. But we knew that there would be a day, in all probability, when he wouldn't be. So, and he and I actually talked about that some. And Jeff, certainly when we hired Jeff, in my mind, was somebody that could possibly be a head coach. I think a few of the things that I've seen out there that are a little unfair to Jeff are the insinuations that all this was preordained or that it was agreed upon a year ago, and I don't really think that's fair to Jeff. I mean, certainly when we hired Jeff, I knew that was a possibility, but Jeff Brohm earned this job by what he did over the last 12 months. And like I said, I had the advantage of really being able to observe Jeff, how he interacted with our players, how he interacted in the locker room, how he worked with you all in the media, how he handled himself in the community, how he handled himself at practice, and so the more I saw that, the more comfortable I became, and that Jeff earned this over the last 12 months, and Jeff was a big reason why we won 8 games and had quality wins among those 8 wins, and so his overall resume is terrific, and the combination of the NFL and the college and all that's terrific, but I wouldn't want anybody to underestimate really what he did during the past 12 months, because that was a vital part of this as well, and he did a terrific job, and really it was the whole body of work that ultimately led to me being really comfortable to recommend to Dr. Ransdell that this is a direction that I felt that we should go.
Do we have any further questions? One more for Jeff.
Coach, I don't know if you've seen, but the last couple of days since you've been brought up, there's been a lot of references to your days in the XFL, and I just wonder how much you're aware of that, and if anyone's brought that up to you at any point in the last couple of days.
Well, it's a good question. Honestly, wherever I've been, it doesn't take long for that to surface, and I heard it surfaced again, and playing in that league was a lot of fun. I tell people all the time, it was a lot of fun, and we not only got a chance to play football, a game we love, but we got a chance to show some personality and be a character a little bit. And my players, wherever I go, it doesn't take them long to watch it. And normally they tell me they watch it a lot, but I meant well.
Hey, Coach. Zach Greenwell with the Bowling Green Daily News. Can you just talk a little about the recruiting dynamic going forward in terms of, I guess, reassuring guys and also taking advantage of the continuity with the staff?
Well, without question, that's huge, and we have a great staff. And I know we've gone over it before, but I feel very comfortable in them, and they've done a tremendous job, and they will continue to do a tremendous job, and they're great people. I feel like our recruiting has gone extremely well, and I feel very good about it, and we really haven't missed a beat. We're on top of it, and we've gotten great response, and we work at it on a daily basis. We're in communication with our guys, and really recruiting is about not only evaluating talent, but building relationships. And as assistants, you normally have a better relationship than the head coach. So, a lot of that has been very good. And so we're excited about it, and it looks very good, and we're going to continue to finish strong here at the end and have a great signing day.
Rob Herbst, Bowling Green Daily News. Todd, can you go over kind of the chain of events of this week in regard to the hiring process of Jeff? There were reports that you interviewed him on Tuesday, and also did you seriously consider any other candidates for the position this week?
Well, as to the second question, I think if something's not broken, then don't fix it. And I think it would have been a waste of time to talk to other people when I was convinced and Dr. Ransdell was convinced that the best person to lead us forward is the one sitting between us today. So we didn't talk to anybody else, about the job. One thing that I eased my mind a lot too was the continuity that I felt we would have in our staff, and certainly having Nick Holt as our associate head coach and defensive coordinator is tremendous, because we had a top 10 defense this year. I mean, we had an outstanding defense this year due to Nick's leadership. So the combination of with Jeff as the head coach and Nick as our defensive coordinator, I think positions us extremely well moving forward. In terms of this week, you know, I would compliment both Tom Jurich and Bobby Petrino for their respective communication to me all week long. I thought that was handled very professionally by both of them, and that actually made my job easier because I knew where that whole process was the entire time as it unfolded. And Tom called me on Wednesday morning and told me that that was the direction that they wanted to go in, and that he was then going to call Bobby, and then that Bobby would call me after that. And so that's how we found out. Certainly once I found out that Coach Petrino was going to interview at Louisville and had talked to Tom about that, I knew that he had an excellent chance of getting the job based on our conversation. So, like I said, I had the opportunity to work with Jeff and watch Jeff for 12 months, but we never had an in-depth conversation about Jeff as a head coach until the first time. It was prior to this week, but it was after the regular season ended. And I just don't feel it's appropriate to really talk about a job that somebody else has. And so I never had any conversations with anybody about being a Western Kentucky head coach while Bobby Petrino was our head coach. Now, when Jeff mentioned there were some opportunities that came up, and so he and I started talking about this a little bit when the regular season ended. And then in this week, we did meet on Tuesday and had a lengthy meeting and went into a lot of detail, and then met again on Wednesday. And that was really just diving a little bit deeper and going into some specifics in a little more detail than we had before, just to be absolutely certain that things really were where I thought that they were. And certainly those two meetings are very productive, and that gave me great confidence.
For the lawyers in the room, I might add one point, that there is a provision in our personnel policies that allow me to authorize an internal search when appropriate.
Thank you for pointing that out. I think Jeff has a...
Coach, just one quick question about the staff. You mentioned that Coach Holt was returning. Are there, obviously some have gone to Louisville, but are there any others that are going to be returning as well?
Well, I don't want to get into details right now, but I like our staff, and I liked our staff last year. So if that gives you any indication, that might help. But I feel good about the people that we have in this program. They did a great job last year. Nick Holt did a tremendous job in the defensive room. Obviously, I was in charge of the offensive room, but a lot of guys put in a lot of hard work. You know, we coached our guys up. We tried to teach them, motivate them, and help them along the way. And I feel very good about what our staff is going to be.
We've got 5 of our coaching staff sitting right here, and there may be others in the room. You guys stand up. Our coaching staff that's making a commitment to this program, stand up. How about it?
Any further questions?
How realistic is the game Louisville?
Good. That's Mr. Hill.
Yes, it does.
That's a good question, Mr. Hilltopper. In all seriousness, I'm optimistic that we can get that done because of the relationship that we have with Tom and with Bobby, and you know, I guess a little detail there, you know, as part of the overall negotiation with Coach Petrino a year ago, it's standard in our really every contract that we've done that there's and with the athletic directors that there's a home and home provision with the school that you go to if you were to leave. With Coach Petrino's, I mean, it was just a really unusual situation last year. And as part of the overall negotiations, which ultimately resulted in getting the buyout up much higher than it originally was, the wording was changed to best intentions. But he and I have talked about that, and I'm optimistic that we can get that done. Most football schedules are set for the next 3 or 4 years anyway, so it's not something that would happen next year or the year after. But I think down the line, hopefully we can get that done, because I think much like the University of Kentucky series, I think it's great for fans in this state when we play Louisville and when we play Kentucky. And Louisville's been fantastic in basketball. You know, Rick Pitino is probably the only top 20 head coach in the country that will play a game in Diddle Arena. but I think that's good for fans in our state. And the fact that we've played them twice in Louisville, we play them once here, and we play them once in Nashville in basketball has really started a tradition that's worked out very, very well for both programs, and I'm confident we can do the same thing in football.
But it will be home and home.
Correct. Mhm.